What is up, guys? I am Rono. I like to talk about Brian Grant's Leaving for Loki video. I found that video to be very powerful. He isn't just talking about leaving Alliance. He's talking about leaving competitive gameplay. He's talking about not grinding as much. He talks about how he feels like he's being carried, which is a big deal. And I like to talk about just basically the state of the game. I know Seaton put a state of the game video not that long ago. I think it's more obvious now, especially since Brian Grant left, Katie Candy's leaving or left. But basically, I think that the game between the free-to-play player, which was represented by Brian Grant, the mid-tier, which is Katie Candy, and then the upper tier, which hasn't fallen apart yet, but it's going to fall apart soon once these rewards hit, and it is falling apart soon now, is all based off of rewards that are obtainable and not obtainable. And I have actually a way to fix it, a way to quickly fix it. Number one, there's a huge gap between free-to-play players and people who spend. That gap has always been there, but I don't think that gap should have happened. I work, I come home. If I want to grind, then I grind. I should get the same stuff should be available if you buy it or you grind it. So you have the time and you spend it, and you spend 2-3 days of grinding, you should get the same reward as if you spend, or in other words, you should be able to catch up. Brian Grant should be at SIG 200 on most of his champs. He should have a rank 4. He should have all this. If you see how much Brian Grant grinds, he should be completely caught up to the top tier guys. He literally, all he does for his job is grind. So how is that guy not caught up? It's kind of sad, you know? Number two, that these crystals, besides the gap, these crystals are all wrong. Number one, this guy right here, Wolverine Weapon X, that should not be in this crystal whatsoever. That is a skill champ. That is a champ you get for showing skill. It is a Legends Run champ that you do for in-game content. End of story. That should not be in a spin-to-play kind of scenario. Number two, this game is an RNG game. Does that look like RNG to you? It is not. That is not RNG. This game has always been RNG, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 of these Awakening Gems, that are generic. They've been doing these lately. To be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of these either. This is kind of nice, but in lower quantities. But this right here, that's fine for in-game content. This lack of RNG and giving away a skill champ, that's where the problem is. Every one of the top 30 are going to have the same champs because of prestige. If every one of these was a crystal, you add RNG, that changes up the game and it makes it more exciting. So this crystal put out, as we've seen by all the videos, it put out a lot of higher ranked rank 4 material for 6-star champs. So prestige is completely broken now. So how do you fix prestige? You fix prestige by introducing content that quickly gets you caught up to 5, because that's what you need. You need 5 top prestige champs to make your prestige. Well, we already have guys that are already at 5 or close to 5, especially by the time this event ends. So make Book 2, the end of Book 2, come out ASAP and have 4 crystals, not this garbage, 4 RNG crystals for a rank 4, and then let that be fun videos for everybody. Let that be, rank ups who you're going to choose. Make that exciting. Let them catch up and let everyone quickly get 5 rank 4 champs. And how do you get that? You spend or you grind. 2 ways. Well, the spenders have already spent, so that part's over. Now you're missing the grind. Book 2 is one way of doing it. Another way to do it is the solo thing that's coming out. That's really nice, because then you don't have to wait for Alliance. But there should be no reason somebody like Brian Grant has to feel guilty he puts in a ton of work, more than anyone else in this game. Not more than anyone else, but he's up there. But I will say that he should be SIG 200 on his top champs. He should have all the same things that the spenders have. The spenders should not have access to rewards that no one else has access to. I spend in this game. I spend because I think it's fun and I like to contribute to this game. But you see that I haven't even started Book 2. Why? Because I don't need to. Because I can just rank up, I can just buy and then just get my champs. And then when I play it, when my champs are ranked up, then it's easy and then I get those rewards. That's what some people do. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But you got to give Brian Grant, and when I say Brian Grant, all the free-to-play players a chance to catch up. And right now, and not only that, the top-tier guys. The top-tier guys don't have access to the spenders versus the low spenders. The heavy spenders that drop, 15K, 30K are way ahead, and they're going to kill Prestige. Prestige has only been a few SIG stones away from the next guy with Prestige. All the Prestige, all the Prestige guys, all this looks exactly the same. For the longest time, that's what everyone with the top Prestige looked like. I don't even have a rank 4 yet. Because I took a little bit of time off. But I should be able to grind to get a rank 4. But it's one of those things that I think the game has a huge gap that they need to close ASAP. When do they need to close it? Well, Brian Grant already has a foot out the door, so you should do it really quick. Katie Candy already has a foot out the door. You should do it quick. But I think you should do it before these rewards come out. Before the release of this, you need to say, before we release these rewards, we have new content and it is amazing. RNG, yes, don't do this garbage. But it'll have some RNG. And I know I'm one of the top people. I hate RNG like everybody else. But this is a little too much. Number 2, this guy stopped giving away the top skill legend run champs for money. Make a new legend run champ since you screwed this up. Make it someone that's really cool, that when people see that champ, and you also, that goes along with that champ, you need to have something up here. One of these logos will let you know, because you see that legend. Because I won a legend run, and it took me a long time. I tried multiple times to do legends run, and I finally won it, and I love that title. I love it. But that's what we do it. Give us that opportunity. But right now the game is broken. Brian Grant, you broke Brian Grant. Like, who does that? The happiest guy in the game, But he saw how futile it was trying to catch up. It was impossible. He can't catch up. It's impossible. I can take time off, spend, and then still blast Brian Grant away. That should not be possible. Like, not even a little, by a whole lot. But anyways, guys, that's my video. Oh, before I go, Legacy's comment is probably one of the best comments I've seen in a long time. I'm going to summarize it, but you should read it. It's amazing, and I don't care if you guys like Legacy or not. He basically got upset at the same part I got upset at, and that's when Brian Grant said that he got carried. And carried in his alliance, meaning that the higher prestige guys were carrying Brian Grant, and Brian Grant was artificially collecting rewards that he would not have access to if he were in the same tier that, quote unquote, he belongs in based off his prestige. Legacy rebuts that in the best way, period. He says that everybody in the alliance brings something. You have people that bring skill. Like he mentioned, Brian Grant has perfect alliance wars. perfect Alliance War seasons, where he doesn't die all season. And Legacy has been chasing that perfect Alliance War season. I've been watching his videos. I think that's amazing. And that means Brian Grant is very skilled. So he brings skill to the game. He brings Alliance War wins by not dying in Alliance War. Alliance War can be tough, brutal, crazy, and it's even harder if your roster is not the greatest. So he brings skill to the Alliance. And then there's people that spend money that are fine with spending money. I'm fine with spending money, but my other Alliance guys, they're not spending money. I hope, and you can see I'm spending way more than the rest of the guys in here. I hope that we get a nice reward and everyone gets it. I don't care if I'm way higher than everyone else. I don't consider all the rest of these guys underneath that I'm carrying them. I enjoy conversations with every single one of these guys. I like hanging out with these guys. I like BSing with these guys and all the guys that were in my last Alliance. This is a shout out to my Alliance MIA. My old Alliance mates, I talked to them. I talked to some of the guys throughout the game. We're a great community. So the fact that Brian Grant feels carried, that is hurtful, in my opinion. So, in other words, Brian Grant's saying, well, you should have someone better than me. Prestige doesn't mean jack. You could buy a new account and you have the highest prestige in the game. You spend $20K, get the newest account, Cal Will's account, buy it, and now what? Does that mean that you're a good person? No. Does that mean you're skilled? No. Does that mean no? It means that you just bought a high account, you spend. It doesn't mean you grind. Can you imagine if we all had access to the same prestige? If you grind, if you bought, if you did solo, if you did Alliance, if there are multiple ways to get these crazy rewards, that would be great because then you can cater this game to the way you want. In other words, if you're someone like Brian Grant who doesn't want to spend a dime, who wants to grind all day, he gets these top tier rewards. You get someone like me who doesn't have that much time to grind at all. I just come home and rather spend and get some crystals and have fun and enjoy my roster. That's it. You have someone like Legacy that wants to do the Legends run in 2 seconds when it first comes out and gets champs that no one else has. That's what he needs. That's what makes the game fun, but you screwed the free-to-play players over. You messed up the top-tier alliances. The whole game is absolutely broken because your rewards were off and your ways to get rewards were off. Fix it by making Book 2 having 4 crystals that take you to rank 4. Fix it by having solo events. Fix it by having 6 stone arenas. Fix it by having all of that. Fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it. Otherwise, you're going to turn around and you're going to have some event and no one's going to spend. And next thing you know, Brian Grant is YouTubing another video game and takes all 100,000 people that he has that follows him. I'm sure it's higher than that. And he's going to take it to that new game and then you're going to have nothing. No one's spending, and that's the end of the game. So, fix it. That's what I say.